You're losing the version of yourself that believed love was always safe. But maybe that's where real strength begins. In the breaking, in the silence, in the painful holy space where you finally start to see your own worth. You know what's strange? After betrayal, time doesn't move the same way. Days stretch like shadows, long, heavy, endless. Nights feel like oceans, wide and dark, and you're floating somewhere in the middle, trying not to drown in thoughts that won't leave you alone. You tell yourself, I'm okay. You tell your friends, I'll get over it. But inside, you're bleeding in ways words can't explain, because it's not just heartbreak anymore, it's identity, cracked open, it's trust, shattered into tiny invisible pieces. You start to forget who you were before the pain. You start questioning what love even means, and when someone new tries to hold your hand, you flinch, not because they've done anything wrong, but because your body remembers what it felt like to be held by someone who was lying. It's wild, isn't it? How trauma hides in the smallest places. In a song that plays at the wrong moment, in a message notification that looks too familiar, in a smell that reminds you of them. Your heart reacts before your mind even knows why. It's like your soul has learned to guard itself, to keep the door half shut, even when love knocks softly. And yet, you still miss them sometimes. That's the cruel part. You don't just miss the person, you miss the illusion, the version of them that never really existed, the one you built in your mind. You miss the warmth they borrowed from your own fire, because truth is, the love you felt was real, even if theirs wasn't. So you end up grieving something that was half a lie. And grief doesn't follow rules. It shows up at random, in the middle of laughter, in the middle of healing, and says remember. But there's another layer to it. The anger. That's the fire that comes after the tears. At first you hate them. You hate how they smiled while lying. You hate how they made you doubt your sanity, how they watched you break, and acted like they didn't notice. You hate the calmness they carried while your world collapsed. But then, eventually, you realize the anger isn't about them anymore. It's about you, fighting to reclaim your dignity. You start thinking, how could I have let them stay that long? How could I have believed in someone who didn't deserve me? And that's the hardest part, facing the mirror, and forgiving yourself for not walking away sooner. Because deep down, you weren't stupid. You were hopeful. You believed in love the way children believe in magic. You believed that if you gave your best, if you loved right, they'd see it, feel it, honor it. But some people, they don't know what to do with pure hearts. They get bored of sincerity. They mistake stability for dullness, and they chase chaos because it makes them feel alive. So you were loyal, not because you didn't have options, but because you had depth. Because you knew commitment isn't a cage, it's a promise. And you kept that promise even when they broke their. And now, you're here, picking up the pieces, trying to rebuild something out of what's left. You look around and realize, no one teaches you how to heal from betrayal. There's no manual, no clean break, no single day when you wake up and suddenly feel free. Healing happens quietly, in moments, in breaths, in the way you start choosing peace over answers, in the way you stop stalking their profile, stop rehearsing what you would have said. Healing starts the moment you accept that closure might never come from them. It has to come from you. It's a brutal truth, but healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering without flinching. It means looking back and thinking, yes, that hurt, but it also taught me who I am. You start to notice things differently. The sunlight feels different on your skin. Music starts to sound like possibility again. You catch yourself smiling at nothing, not because you're over it, but because you survived it. And that's something. You survived the betrayal. You survived the silence. You survived loving someone who didn't know what loyalty was. And in the process, you learned that loyalty is not something you owe, it's something you choose. And next time, you'll choose more carefully, not from fear, but from self-respect. Because the hardest part of heartbreak is realizing that the person you were loyal to was never capable of matching your depth. But the beautiful part, you always were. That's what I wish someone had told me, that being loyal to the wrong person doesn't make your love less valuable. It just means they weren't ready for something real. So when you look back, don't see yourself as broken. See yourself as someone who loved with courage, someone who gave without keeping score, someone who stayed true, even when betrayed. that kind